Hey everybody, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Having a lot of aches and pains in my back today. I have arthritis, and when it gets in your spine and in your neck and things like that, days like today, I said, we must be really going to get some bad weather because I am aching. And I wanted to stay in contact with you all. And I was sitting here thinking, when I first started this group, it was to help young cooks. It was to help the non-cooks become cooks. And I'm thankful for everybody that's in the group and on my page. But I'm just going to be honest. That's who I had targeted for my little group. And I really didn't expect it to ever really get as big as it has. But I'm thankful for that and glad to have everybody that has chosen to kind of follow along with us. But I thought today, one thing that you need to know, learn as a cook, is to have certain things in your house all the time that you can use as fillers, fill-ins. Sometimes you don't always have time to cook chicken for 4 or 5 hours. Sometimes you don't always have time to make a homemade topping. Sometimes you don't always have time to make homemade barbecue sauce, or sometimes they just taste better than what you can make. And I'm just being totally honest about that. Yes, I like to make some things homemade, but I figure if you take other ingredients and you actually cook something and you put fill-ins, like you want to use Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, that still makes it a homemade dish, guys. You did not buy it out of a box and you did not heat it up. If you cook the chicken and put the onions and put the Baby Ray's or the pork or whatever it is you cook, you cooked it. That's better than buying something that's in a box. Because this doesn't have, it's got a few ingredients in it, but most of these ingredients are not going to, they're not bad ingredients. And there's always a time, a place for everything, and I'm not a snob about using other ingredients and things to help cook, because I like to. There's some things that it's much more economical and efficient for me to use them than to try to, spend 2 hours making a white sauce. If you really want to impress somebody and you want to say, I made this completely homemade, that's a good thing. But you know what? You can make chicken Alfredo and use this right here. This is Prego Artisan 4 cheese sauce. You can add just a little bit of milk to this and maybe a little bit more cheese, and you got a good sauce. There's not a thing in the world wrong with that. I keep that in my house all the time. I keep Sweet Baby Ray's, sweet and spicy. It's kind of got a little heat at the end, but it's good. Another thing that I keep is the Herdez Chipotle Salsa Crema. Robert loves chicken cooked in this. I put it in my crock pot. I pour a whole bottle of this on top of it, and I put a can of green chilies. Sometimes I put onions. You don't have to. And then you let it cook for about 3.5 hours on high. Then you take it out, shred up your chicken, put it back in. And Robert loves them on wraps. He likes to buy the wraps, and when he's going out to work at a park or something, he's going to be out of, not at home that day, then he will make a wrap or something like that and take it with him. And this keeps good, keeps for about a week. You can put it on chicken and you can keep it in the refrigerator for about a week. Another thing that I like to keep is like the Tostitos, the cheese or the creamy ranch or the spinach dip. You can put this on a quesadilla. If you're wanting to make chicken and spinach and stuff like that, you can use these to really spice up a lot of things. You just got to be creative in what you do, and that's what I try to do. I'm here to try to give you ideas to help you. Because listen, I was a working mother. I was a teacher for 20 some odd years, and it means a lot to be able to come in. And I know you don't have time to cook for hours. And there's lots of things that you can use. This is my favorite. I used to like Prego, but I really like this now. I've kind of changed my mind. And, women, we're allowed to do that. But this is the Ragu chunky sauce, the sauteed onion and garlic. You can always add a few more onions to this and a little more garlic and, add some ground beef and you've got some really good spaghetti sauce. Then put your cheese on it and stuff, your Parmesan cheese, or if you want to do baked spaghetti, you can use the mozzarella cheese. Really easy ways to make homemade meals, okay? Another thing I like to keep is the powdered spicy ranch dressing, because you can take this and soak chicken in buttermilk for about 30 minutes and then put some pepper in this and roll it in this and either bake it or fry it, and it makes really good chicken. Robert really likes this. Another thing to keep on hand is some type of condensed soup, like cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, cream of celery. All of these are good add-ins. Like somebody was talking the other day, I think it was Paul Hagen, said he used a can of this in his chicken and dumplings. That's very possible. If you don't have time and you just want to take a rotisserie chicken and you want to take a can of this and a few bouillon cubes and some chicken broth, store-bought chicken broth, put that all together, cook it for about 10 minutes, put your dumplings in there, and you can make chicken and dumplings like that. There's lots of shortcut ways to do things. Another thing that I like to keep is I like to keep cake mixes. Duncan Hines is my favorite. Most of the time you'll hear me talking, it's going to be about Duncan Hines. That's my favorite cakes. They always have been for 40 years. But I can take this, I can add a little more strawberry puree, about a half a cup of cake flour, and just a tad bit of baking powder, and I can really make a good, and some sour cream to make a good sour cream strawberry bundt cake. So there's lots of things. Or you can just take the cake mix and add some buttermilk to it, replace the water with buttermilk. There's lots of little things you can do that make these a lot better. Another thing that I like to use, because we don't always have time to make toppings, is especially the lemon. This is Duncan Hines Comstock lemon topping. It's lemon cream. And this is really good. It is really good. So, I don't know if I could make anything any better. I'm just being honest. Another thing that is good if you like garlic is Hellman's roasted garlic sauce. This is good if you're cooking something like a chicken or like an Alfredo, chicken pasta Alfredo or something like that, and you don't want to take the time or keep garlic on hand. You can do things this way. And another way is these. I love these because the way my wrist and my neck and everything is, it's hard for me to really do a lot of pressure things. So having this is garlic paste. All it is garlic that's just pressed down and compacted, and you can squeeze out about an inch of this for a teaspoon or 2 inches, whatever you like, They also have other flavors, like if you like to add a little heat. This is yellow habanero, and you can put that in and you don't have to worry about getting it in your eyes or on your hands or anything like that. And you can add little bits at a time to see what you like. They also have Italian herb, basil, if you want to make pestos, or you're wanting it for a sauce, any type of Italian sauce. And they also have ginger. I use this in Robert's egg drop soup. I squirt out about 4 inches of ginger in it. And it works fine. You keep these in the refrigerator once they're open. And, you've got some really good things here to help out your cooking. Other than just, keeping things like, you can keep gravies and sauce mixes and lots of things that just really, add a lot to your cooking. Make it a lot better than just throwing out a roast that you've boiled in a pot all day. You can add Lipton onion soup. I keep Lipton onion soup all the time. You can put that in there, plus cut you up a big onion and put just a little bit of garlic, and then, let it cook. Add some beef broth if you want to, but you don't have to. You can add water because you're actually making your beef broth. If you're going to let it cook for 3 or 4 hours, you're going to get a good broth. So I hope this helps you all and kind of understand that not everything has to be done completely from scratch, that you can use help me ingredients. They help you because, they cut down on time And if you learn to add things to them and how to make them better, then you've really got a lot of time shaved off of what you're having to to use to cook. So all you working moms and dads that cook, or and you're looking for good ideas, just look at ingredients a lot more, things that you might not think of. I sit around, my poor old brain, this is the way I think. I sit around and just think about things I could use, and I got to thinking about the spinach dip. I thought, I believe you could probably put that on that flour tortilla when I make the quesadillas, and put that on there. Put you some chicken on there. If you like mushrooms, you could put sliced mushrooms on it if you sauteed them. You always want to saute your onions, peppers, mushrooms, anything like that before you put them on something like a quesadilla, because actually you're just kind of melding things together. You're not really cooking things. So, that you always want to make sure you saute them and pretty much cook them. And I cook up a bunch at one time, put them in a container like this. I'll show you what I do. The other day, I cooked up 4 big onions and some peppers, and I put them in a little container like this. Then every time you get ready to make you a quesadilla, or you're wanting an omelet, anything that you might use this in, take you out a couple tablespoons, mix it in with your stuff, and, when it heats up, that flavor's going to come back. So that's a really good thing to do. Learn to prep things ahead of time, things that you might use. And, But if there's any question that you all have about something or how to make something better, I love to answer those questions. This is not just everything about a cooking video to show you how I make something. It's to help you learn how to be a better cook. And, even if you've been cooking for 50 years, you can always learn to do things better. I'm still learning. I still learn things. And I've liked to watch cooking shows forever, though. I love to just watch, because sometimes just watching them, I can get some good ideas. Or I can say, hey, I believe you could do this and this and really make a good dish. So think about it. Let me know what you think about this. Give me some ideas. I'm willing to, if you've got a question about a certain ingredient and how to use it, I could give you some pointers about it. I don't know. Or maybe somebody else could kind of comment in and help. But you all have a blessed day, and you all be careful out in this weather. They say we're going to get some ice. I truly, truly, truly hope not. But if we do, I'm sure that we'll manage one way or another. But tell somebody about Jesus today. Jesus is the Lord of my life, guys. I don't know what I would do without him. Sometimes I sit in here in this living room and I just think, think about how awesome God is and how wonderful salvation is. Because I'm telling you, Jesus went through a lot for us. And, it's very little to ask us to live our life for him. Very little to go to heaven. Because I'm telling you guys, you do not want the alternative. Hell is not a place you want to go. And you can listen to all the secular world today and talk, even a lot of churches saying that hell's not real and this, that, and the other. Well, why is it you believe heaven is real? Selective thinking, that's the way a lot of people are this day and time. They don't want anything that might be construed as negative or might put a little responsibility on them. But, the best life you'll live is a Christian life. A lot of people think, oh, I'm never going to be able to have any fun, and that's not true. Your idea of fun will change once you truly meet Jesus Christ. So you all have a blessed day, and tell somebody about Jesus. Cook something for your neighbors. Call them up. Give them an encouraging word. Lots of elderly people sitting by themselves, folks. I'm one of them. So it gets very lonely when you're sitting in the house a lot. And that's just the way things are. But we have an obligation to reach out to people, because that's what Jesus tells us to do. He said, when you do it to them, you do it to me. So you all have a blessed day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye. God bless you all.